Hey everyone, some people asked me to do a personal update since I've been doing so many kind of educational videos recently. It's been a while since I just blabbed on about myself. And well, it's been about a year since I had a FND relapse where I had some serious symptoms all at once. And ever since then I've been climbing out of a hole. And I recently celebrated my 4-year FND anniversary. And that's really tough because all these specialists told me, you can get better and why don't you just go home and rest and you'll be okay, or it's all in your head. And now it's been more than 4 years since I've had this, and I'm too well to be permanently disabled, but it's been more than 4 years now and I still have this thing, so I think I'm kind of disabled. Yeah, so it's difficult and it varies from day to day. Like, I've built up my physical capacity and my mental capacity so much, and I'm able to exercise now, which that's been such a goal for me. And I was building up my walking to be able to get to a point of jogging, and then I had relapse, and then I would build up again and then relapse, and every time I hit a setback, and I would watch my own videos to how do I deal with a setback, and then I would build up again. And I learnt all of these strategies myself from the Neurosymptoms website, from FND charities, from learning from you guys. How do I deal with this? How do I manage? And then the international experts, there's been more awareness. Just, it feels like in the last even 2 years, things have really improved. And I'm an admin volunteer for one of the support groups on Facebook, and we're getting new members, a lot of new members all the time, and people are even being recommended to them by their health professionals. It's really bizarre. Like, doctors have actually heard of this condition now. That's a really positive thing. And this is a really funny thing, but one of the doctors that I first saw, it was a doctor that I was okay, dump your doctor. He couldn't really do much for me. He didn't know how to explain the condition. And then more recently, a patient joined our support group and said, this neurologist was really good and he recommended this group and he was able to explain their condition. And that maybe that's because I educated him. And a lot of the time, we end up educating our health professionals about this condition. And that's how the awareness spreads, because we have to do the work, and it's really slow and difficult. And there's this phrase, find a doctor that does no harm. Unfortunately, that's really difficult sometimes, and that's what you've got to do. Just find a doctor that does no harm. Yeah, so in the last year, there's been so much political upheaval in the world and chaos with COVID-19, and on a personal front, some really good stuff has happened. My partner and I got married, but we've both had some really serious health issues, aside from my FND, and we're just grateful to be alive, actually. And it's really tough. And I'm grateful to live where I live, and I'm so thankful for the support that we have, and we're really lucky to have friends and some family that are really supportive. And I know there's a lot of you watching that don't have good friends and family, and you just, you're doing so well to make it through each day by yourself. And you keep going. you just moment by moment, you know, you're doing it an hour at a time, you're doing it 5 minutes at a time, and you just keep going, because that's what you've got to do. And then you find those small moments that, you know, the sun shines in a certain way and you see some blue sky, you get some fresh air, you get to participate in a hobby that you enjoy, and you feel like, wow, life is worth living. There's some really difficult things happening, but you do have some people that care about you. There's this girl, maybe on the other side of the world, that will reply to your YouTube comments on her videos, that just really wishes you well and wants the best for you. And yeah, we just keep going together, and I want to support you as much as I can. And we got this. We can keep going, and we keep fighting.